Bruce Cassidy says by Wednesday we could see VGK getting to one group as the preseason now winding down. There are 3 games this week. The back-to-back, nothing to say there, Chris. The back-to-back with the Avalanche tonight and Wednesday, the finale at home on Friday against the Sharks. We will see the lines Cassidy will roll out 8 days from now. We'll get a good glimpse of it within the next couple of days. With the absence of 2 starters, some players now making a run to make the team. All of that and more on this edition of Locked On Golden Knights.
You're Locked On Golden Knights, your daily podcast on the Vegas Golden Knights, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hi again, everyone. Tony Cardasco and Chris Golick from Las Vegas. Thanks for making us your first listen every day. And you can find us wherever you get your podcast. I'm a longtime sportscaster, a marketing consultant, and the host of the Believe in Vegas podcast with my guest this week, Patrick Lindsay, Las Vegas Motor Speedway, on the upcoming NASCAR weekend. Chris, the owner of Silver State Cards and Sports, and the host of the Hockey News Collectibles Show. Ahead on today's show, we'll be talking about previewing VGK against the Avalanche. Okay, it's preseason, not much to say there, but we do have Eichel and Marner in their player rankings. And now you can catch us again each and every day right here if you're watching on TV on the Silver State Sports and Entertainment Network statewide, and here in the Vegas area. Tune in Monday through Friday. That might be daily at 1 o'clock on SSSEN. And you could catch us on YouTube TV or on Cox Cable Channel 77. It's so Vegas, right? 77. So VGK, Chris, they returned to the ice on Monday following a couple of days at the Foley Ranch in Montana. Do you think Bruce Cassidy was invited? Probably not, right? He's never been there. I don't think he's been there again. So they looked refreshed. They looked like they were ready to work. And Noah Hannafin, as he said yesterday, it's time to focus on all the details. He said he's ready to play with the full group, which we might see here probably on Wednesday. But then again, with just they're down to like just 8 more players need to be cut. You don't have very many players to choose from on that AHL level.
Training camp is cut into 2 pieces, basically. The first piece is conditioning.
It's Foley Ranch.
Okay.
The
Foley Ranch is the divider.
Oh, that's the second. That's the second.
The first part is going to be conditioning and working with the prospects and all of that. And then the second part is when the team does get down to one group. That's when you start working on special teams. That's when you start working on more set pieces. That's when you start doing more, best on best in practice and that sort of speak, and just getting ready for the regular season. And that'll be fun to watch. The first practice, once the group is together, if and when if they do start working on the special teams. Where's Marner? Where's Theodore?
2 key players, Pavel Dorofeev and Jeremy Lauzon, are still missing. And Cassidy said yesterday in his presser they're getting closer to their returns, although we're not sure if we will see them this week. Cassidy said yesterday that with Pavel out and players like Alexander Holtz or Holtzy could steal a spot on this roster. They are so high on him. Why?
I mean, I don't know. Reminds me of Brendan Bresson's camp in preseason last year. Bresson did a lot of good things playing against other NHL prospects and such like that. And then once the regular season started, Bresson, I think, had let 7 or 8 games, and down to the farm he went. And I could be off on my numbers, but it wasn't that long. Holtz, I mean, listen, there's experience there. There's a track record of limited success. He knows Coach Cassidy's old system. I say old system. We don't know what the new system is going to end up being. You mentioned the injury to Pavel Dorofeev, and he's skating, and it seems like everything is trending the right direction. But Cassidy's also leaving the door open that the injury, Pav's injury, if in Cassidy's words, could change things a little bit between now and opening night. I don't think it's going to impact what the possible lines are. The lines are pretty much set in stone, no pun intended. So with Cassidy making a comment like, well, the injury might slightly play a part, that just tells you that This is not a tweak. This is not a
Yeah,
tweak.
these are
And,
tweaks. Just a couple of tweaks. No
yeah, and the
problem.
Lazan situation is going to open the door for Ben Hutton, likely. I know
For
is
Hutton,
gonna,
right? Yeah, exactly.
hopefully. We'll see if they might make us make a trade for someone else to replace him.
Oh man,
But keep him on the team and bury him deeper.
they've got to give him a chance. We love that guy. And Cassidy said, "Oh, he talked about why Holtz was wearing the A. It's like probably one of the biggest stories of the week." Cassidy said Holtz had the most seniority out of all those cats that were on the ice, and he said he might throw him a bone. He gave him a bone, threw him a bone, and he gave him the A on his sweater in San Jose. I like that
There's this
story. That's
time
kind of
honored
fun.
tradition, I guess, of seniority and everything. And if Holtz in his 100 something games, if that's the senior player, then I'm not sure what that says about the team that was out there. And obviously, we'll dig deeper in the next
That was
segment.
fun.
But I do wonder who's going to be out there tonight with the Golden Knights being on back-to-backs.
So 3 VGK games, good point, in 4 nights ahead. So wondering how that goalie rotation is going to work. What happens here?
I
want
don't think
Lindbaum.
Aiden Hill's playing on the road. I think it's in his contract.
Give
So
give Lindbaum the net. Well, and Aiden Hill should get some reps on the road. No, play half
I don't
the
think
game.
it matters, honestly. I don't think it's not like Aiden Hill forgot how to play hockey on the road or anything
Yeah,
like
but
that.
it still would be, again, you're in this phase here. Details.
No, and you're right, and you're not wrong about that, but I don't think he needs it. I don't know if Cassidy sees that he needs it, and especially if you have if you have Alex Holtz wearing a letter tonight, you don't need your star goaltender.
Well, they don't have enough
in the
players.
backstop.
They don't have enough AHL players left, Chris, that they can afford.
Well,
to
you
do
can
that.
still have other, but even if they're not in camp, those players can still participate in the games though and stuff.
So will we see the top line playing tonight? We'll talk
No.
more about the Avs game. No, the top line. No, is the Carlson line the top line, or
No.
are we going to see our guy Kolasar on the top line again tonight?
Bingo.
You think so?
Yeah.
Why? Why do you say?
I don't know. I'm trying to save it for the second segment.
But no, of course you can't. I mean, answer the question for crying out loud.
No,
What,
I think you see very similar to what was out in San Jose
really
on Friday night.
You were going to make fun of me on back-to-backs. Yeah, it's so
Yeah,
rigged.
so we're already on take two, folks. We're already on take two this morning. Tony, in his opening monologue, made a comment about the Golden Knights are on a back-to-back, and I was like, oh, back-to-back, and Tony had fumbled the ball and on the 2-yard line. We had to restart the show.
I did. Some of those details now, do you think we'll see them play tighter? And I'm just wondering if one of those goaltenders, if things in one of these games, they're playing so great, whatever, if one of these games they implode, like they give up a bunch of goals here, or maybe the game on Wednesday, let's see how that plays out. Because if it is Aiden Hill in that, and you're playing against the veterans now of the Avalanche, what happens then? Like if somebody doesn't play well, because they've been playing pretty well so far.
I don't think whoever plays on Wednesday night is going to be playing against the Colorado's veterans. I think you're going to see Colorado's veterans playing tonight. I think you'll see more VGK veterans playing tomorrow night. That's my assumption how that's going to shake out. As far as the goalies right now, again, there's a lot of moving parts here, but right now, today's September the 30th, last day of September, crazy. Today it's Hill, Schmidt, and then there's 2 questions. One, of course, is Carter Hart. We've hit that issue a few times here. Just wait and see for the next couple of days. And then Lindbaum, if he can push himself and force himself
You're saying
into this lineup either by pushing Schmidt down or if there's a Hill injury.
Carter Hart can't get the net, so they can't sign those 5 players from Canada until October the 15th. They can't play until December.
Right. So there's time for that to work out. So
okay, coming up next, back-to-back. Now we talk about the opponent for the next couple of games, and that's the Colorado Avalanche. It's a home and home. We'll talk about it next right here on Lockdown Golden Knights. The NFL season is here. FanDuel is making sure that you are ready for kickoff each and every game with a can't-miss offer. And I want to ask Goalie how his fantasy teams are doing, but we'll get to that later.
Not good.
Right now, new customers can bet just $5, and if your bet wins, you'll get $300 in bonus bets to use across the application. That's right. And we definitely love to use FanDuel, first of all, because of all of those outstanding player props. You could build the same game parlay. You can even jump in live action as it unfolds, and that's always a lot of fun. It makes every game more exciting. And whether you're watching your team like the Jets, that's not exciting. But if you just want to keep an eye on your fantasy lineup, there's so many angles here. And of course, you wind up betting against your team sometimes if fantasy doesn't work out. It's quick, it's easy. It's the best way to add a little bit more energy and spice to your Sundays. So, are you ready to play? Download the FanDuel app today. You can visit fanduel.com and you can get started. That's fanduel.com to place your first $5 wager. Welcome back on this edition of Locked On Golden Knights from Las Vegas. Tony Cardasco and Chris Golick reporting. And thanks so much for making us your first listen. Subscribe to our Locked On Golden Knights YouTube channel. I was kind of surprised. I went on they're doing something new this year, and they're trying to drive traffic to the VGK YouTube channel, right? And there weren't a ton of people there, like that watched the presser. I was so interested. I wanted to get more dirt on the trip to the Foley Ranch, but they never tell us anything.
And more information about Cassidy golfing than anything.
Oh, geez. Come on. And they finally cut it off, right? They cut the stream off at a certain point. So your fantasy team, not so good, huh? You have teams.
No, I was 1-2 over the weekend. I think I'm like
one team or
5-7 right now or something in my 3 teams.
3 teams, okay.
So it's not too bad.
All right.
Plenty of time.
Get it together, bro. I'm still bitter about losing a tie and survive.
I got lucky in that before we get into hockey. So I teased that game, which I hate teasing
40-40. But there's never been a 40-40 final before.
Well, I never do 6.5 point teasers. Like I shy away from it. I try and keep it at 6. And for whatever reason, I misclicked and did 6.5. So my teaser actually pushed with Denver last night. So
ooh, okay.
that's a win. I thought I lost by half point.
That's a win-win. The VGK in Denver tonight and back here at home tomorrow night for the October the 1st, the dedication ceremonies here against the Avs. Avalanche won 4-1 at Dallas a couple of nights ago, Saturday, by scoring 3 goals in the third period. The Avs have had a light schedule. So they won that day-night doubleheader against the Tusks, against the Mammoth. And then they didn't play until 6 days later against Dallas, and now they've got VGK on a back-to-back, and then they're probably done. But why such a light schedule? I was kind of curious about that. So they're 3-0. They're 3-0. Hey,
yeah, I mean,
I want to see a day-night doubleheader, VGK someday, please.
It'll be fun. Like I said earlier, I think tonight you see less VGK vets. I think you might see 2 lines out there tonight. I would project possibly the Colasar line and the Colasar Sissons Howden line probably, and then you get probably the second or the third line, and then tomorrow night you get whatever 2 forward lines don't play tonight's, and then Friday is going to be the dress rehearsal, which is pretty close to what the opening night roster is going to be, less injuries, and then same thing tonight. You probably get 1 of the key D pairings, and then tomorrow I bet you get 2 of the key D pairings for VGK.
For the Avalanche, they've got Gabe Landeskog's back. Let's hope that he plays healthy the entire season. The Avs, as we know, they couldn't sign Mikko Rantanen to a long-term deal, so they lost him. And now pretty much the same situation. Their top news is trying to sign Martin Necas, looking for a new deal. He's a big piece to the puzzle this year.
For sure. And, it's weird. Like, I wonder why all these high-level players are having a hard time coming to terms to stay.
They're waiting for the first domino to fall. That's all. That's all. Right,
but I thought Necas has been pretty vocal that he doesn't necessarily want to extend in Colorado. I don't think it's as much about
like his name. I like that name. I like saying it. Necas.
Marty Necas. Yeah, I mean, listen, you got a good team there. I mean, obviously,
Necas nachos. They got to serve those at the arena.
Brock Nelson finally has a chance to be on a decent team. Of course, you got Cale Makar, Devon Taves, a solid blue line. And I didn't even realize this. A picture popped up, I think, on my Twitter. Like, remember this? And Brent Burns is on the Avalanche.
Yes, I was going to talk about
I saw that. I'm like, oh, wow, okay. I thought that was someone that I thought VGK would have loved to attempt to kick tires on in the offseason. 40 years old, $1 million bucks.
The one player they forgot to kick tires on, for crying out loud. I mean,
right? No, that's pretty fair, honestly. But I thought Brent Burns on a 1-year deal as a bottom D pairing with what he can do in games, especially when if Hannafin were to go down for an extended period of time, Brent Burns can fill a role like that pretty well. And I mean,
Remember Dave Haskell? He was the head coach of the Kraken, where he led Seattle to the 2023 upset of the Avalanche, and now he's spearheading the special teams and the power play. And the Avs power play looks pretty potent when you look at it. So right now, I think power play one. Don't quote me on this, but I think it's Landeskog, Brock Nelson, Valerie Nikushkin. He's back. Brent Burns, like they're pretty strong. That's
you forgot one of the two names in there, in Kale McCarr and McKinnon, as far as what
McCarr and McKinnon, yes. But I'm talking about those other pieces here, and they also are 0 for 7 in Dallas on the power play, so not going so well with Haskell.
Avs are always going to be a tough out in the Central, and they are a recent Stanley Cup champion and had a good playoff series against VGK a few years ago. And so the Avs are definitely one of those teams you don't look forward to necessarily seeing on the schedule. And, they're one of those teams that is among the top 6, top 7 Stanley Cup finalist contenders without looking directly. I'll check right now. But yeah. Tough out always, and like I said,
they moved up. Yeah, they moved up, I think, because of all the injuries in Florida. So now they're probably amongst the top teams there as favorites to win the cup.
I'm gonna before I look on FanDuel, I'm gonna say they're the 7th betting favorite. Let's see how close.
Okay, let me just drop in a little note while you're doing your research here, Golick. So remember yesterday I said I thought that VGK defenseman Jacob Magna was going to be cut. Well, his brother Jason actually cut yesterday by the Avs. He's the captain of the Colorado Eagles. So that would have been fun to see the two brothers. So Jacob Magna's brother.
You're an AHL captain. You're not playing in the NHL like ever.
That's okay, but he would have been a center. He would have been the center. But I wanted to see those two collide. It would have been fun to see them.
It would have been fun. Couple of days. Golden Knights are the 5th betting favorites, tied with the Colorado Avalanche.
5th.
So 4th and 5th for VGK right now. FanDuel, Edmonton.
Top?
FanDuel right now is Edmonton. That's don't waste your money. Dallas, maybe. Carolina, don't waste your money.
Okay.
And then you got Colorado, Vegas, and Florida sandwich. Florida obviously dropped because of the Barkov injury.
Yeah.
New Jersey is like the 8th betting favorite at plus 1,300.
Go to the window. Go to the window. The Avs are having some issues with the fourth line, so we'll see what happens here tonight. A next couple of nights, but Ross Colton was playing center, and Bednar wants him on the wing, but he could be a center, with his team, and it could be Zakhar Bardakov. We'll be looking for him, the Russian who played in the KHL. He's big and heavy, and a checking center, and good on the PK, and he's gotten a lot of repetitions here during the preseason, so we'll keep an eye on him tonight. The two goalies that they have, are they going to get it done with Scott Wedgwood? And I think the backup might be Trent Marner. I'm not sure. Is that who they have going into the season? Not quite sure they're going to get it done.
Who is there? I thought they had, not to make an appropriate draw, I thought they had two goalies with like the name Wood in them, Blackwood or something like that.
Yeah, where is Blackwood?
I don't know. You said Trent Marner really fast. I do know Trent Marner, like, again, this is just the collectibles side in me, was definitely someone touted when we're pulling his hockey cards here. Worked through AHL, ECHL, AHL, 24 years old, so it's kind of now or never for a player in that regard. So we'll see. Just 2 appearances with the Avs last year, didn't do a whole lot. So I don't know if there's much of a path for Trent Marner. Just kind of wait and see, I guess. I don't think they break camp with him as the backup, though.
Would you take a flyer, by the way? Yuri Patera is on waivers with Vancouver, as is another Golden Knight.
He was on waivers.
He's perpetually on waivers. So those two guys are out there. Coming up next, I don't know why, just throw in some random note. VGK's 2 superstars move up in the NHL Network's top player list. We'll talk about it next right here on this edition of Locked On Golden Knights. Most people cannot name all their financial accounts and what they're worth, whether it's 401ks or properties, investments, and you don't get the full picture, and you can leave a lot of money on the proverbial table. That's why there is Monarch Money. It's an all-in-one personal financial tool. It brings all of your entire finances, your portfolio together, and it does it in one clean, easy-to-use interface on your laptop or on your phone. Monarch is built for people with busy lives like myself and Golick. And if you've put off organizing your finances, Monarch is for you. Monarch does all the heavy lifting for you. You can link all your accounts in just a matter of minutes. You can see clear data visuals and get smart categorization of your spending, and finally feel that you are in control of all of your finances, all of your money, without ever touching a spreadsheet. And you can identify that you aren't saving as much as you thought, and Monarch helps you, and it gets all of your investments. They put them together, and you can discover forgotten 401ks from past jobs and all of that. So right now, use that promo code LOCKDOWNNHL, LOCKDOWNNHL at monarchmoney.com, and you can do it in your browser for half off of the first year. That's 50% off of your first year at monarchmoney.com. Use the promo code LOCKDOWNNHL. I'm just trying to find a little common ground with Chris Golick. So I wore my Showboat Lanes shirt today. So I just want to get that common ground.
We're taking our kids bowling today, like a homeschooling
You
bowling
are?
group today, actually. It's funny you say that.
Oh, that's so much fun. Where? The Showboat? No, it's nothing but dust. I think they put
Sam's.
apartments there. So I was there. I worked there for 7 years. And one of the highlights, Chris, you'll love this, was on ABC TV when I did the check presentation for the PBA bowlers stop.
What year was this, Tony?
Probably, I was there from 87 through 94. I was just a little pup, but so 106 bowling lanes. So I got to present, the check to the likes of Earl Anthony and all those cats back then. Those were legends of bowling at this point. And on Fridays, the highlight was putting the bumpers in, getting loaded drunk, and throwing the ball. We played bumper bowling there at the Showboat. So it's gone now.
We used to jump the bumpers when they were the inflatables.
It was the inflatables. That's what it was. And I thought we were all going to get fired because we do happy hour at the lanes. Not a good idea. Not a good. Okay. So do we have common ground now? I know that you're a big kegler. That's what they call bowlers, right? Keglers. VGK's top line mates, Jack Eichel, Mitch Marner, each moving up this year in the NHL Network's NHL top players list. Marner was 22nd last year. He moves up to 18th on the latest list. Eichel moves up from 17th to 14th. Marner comes off of the 100-point campaign. Why doesn't Marner get more recognition? Why doesn't he? He should be a top 10 guy, right? I would think. I think he is a top 10 player.
Top 10? I mean, I don't know. You got Mika Ranson in 13, Kaprizov 12, Pasta 11. Obviously, I don't have the top 10 list in front of me.
No, they don't have that. They're doing like one or two each day, so that's where they're at. They're at like
I think it's fair. I think Eichel. I mean, the first thing I look at is for Eichel, is he ahead of Austin Matthews? And I think the fact that he's ahead of Austin Matthews, I think that definitely says something. Speaking of Austin Matthews, he was number 3 and he fell to 15. That's pretty interesting. That's a big fall. Eichel up a little bit. You probably said that already, but the rankings seem very fair. And again, just a testament to Kelly McCrimmon seeking opportunity and adding a top 10 forward piece, I think is probably the way to say that.
VGK was looking for an elite winger, and they found one in Marner. And I feel that he's in the right place and has the right situation now to take it up another notch, to move up another level. Your thoughts?
There's no doubt about that. And again, we're
it's not Marner Monday. Why are we? But
we still had Monarch Money sponsoring a segment with Marner, so it still worked out just
man.
Fine.
That's such a tongue twister. Thanks, man. Thanks for reminding me.
No, I mean, what I do like, and again, we talk about the parallels. Jack Eichel and Mitch Marner, while the situations were different, they were also similar as far as a fan base kind of turning on a player and outside of their respective market, they weren't necessarily looked down that highly. Marner, I don't think, was necessarily the attitude issue that Eichel was, although I think that was crap. I don't think Eichel has never really had an attitude issue by the way he acts in Vegas. So you do see the parallels from their situations, and they can definitely feed off of each other. I'm sure they've in private they've had a few fun conversations over a beer or two, and
the ranch, that was
at the
it.
ranch. Yeah, I could definitely see that happening.
Some
as
fly
well.
fishing,
And,
some poker, and just blowing up their former teams, I would think.
No, and I'm sure that's happening, and so be it. They deserve the right to do that, and credit to them for not doing it on the media and everything. Although Eichel was a little chirpy when it came to everything Buffalo, he had no problem. It's good to be at a world-class organization, and Eichel definitely had some digs in there. And Marner, I think, in time, especially if the Golden Knights do make a nice playoff run, he's contributing. I think Marner's got one in the chamber that he'll fire off once the time presents itself.
Okay, VGK, in Toronto, keep the puck and the empty net. Keep the puck away from Tomas Hertl. 5 seasons, when you're talking Marner, 85-plus points. He's elite. 5 seasons of 85-plus points. The guy's a superstar in my book. 8 years, $96 million was the deal that he signed here. Eichel has become one of the top players in the league. He's definitely earned it. He's become a solid defender, good two-way player, one of the top passers, an elite passer in this league. And if he hits the 100-point mark this upcoming season, he joins a different club, right?
Yeah, I mean, health and Eichel, while Eichel doesn't necessarily have what I would call injury problems, I think you can pencil him for 69 to 74 games on a regular basis, which is fine. I mean, it's the Golden Knights are a deep team, so they can definitely, survive without Eichel being out there for 78 to 82 games. And Marner, yes, everything you said is completely accurate. There's one question: is he going to do it in the playoffs? That's the only question, specifically games 5 and beyond, or 4 and beyond, whatever it is. Any Leafs fan will give you the stats. So that's the biggest question that needs to be answered about Mitch Marner. But again, I think Marner's in a better situation. He's on a better coach team. He's in a better locker room, and he's in a better franchise than the Toronto Maple Leafs. So we'll see where Marner can take this team, and if they can get back to their Stanley Cup aspirations.
820-plus goal seasons for Jack Eichel. So he's definitely elite. And I think I am so excited about watching these two play this upcoming season. Let's stay healthy. The list not complete. Pasternak is number 11. Kaprizov, as you mentioned, number 12. We appreciate everyone tuning in, especially our everydayers around the world. Thank you so much. For Chris Golick, I'm Tony Cardasco from Las Vegas. We'll see you again tomorrow right here on Locked On Golden Knights.